بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء وخاتم النبيين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Once again, I'm your brother Abdul-Lateef from Arabic Virtual Academy as well as Abdul-Lateef.com. Today I want to talk with you, or actually I should say, I want to finish discussing with you, or continue discussing with you, the issue of raising the youth. Because this is something that, when you look around, you'll see a lot of us are failing in. We're really dropping the ball. And, a lot of times it's not our fault because we're doing it by trial and error. So the discussion needs to be brought up so we can see other ways that it's done and is being done successfully. And the issue I want to discuss with you, or the portion of this I want to discuss with you in this particular video, is about engaging the youth in real discussion. One of the things that I found interesting when I came here to Egypt is that, and this is something that most of the people that have been here will be able to tell you. When you come, it's amazing the way that the kids think, the children. Because they talk to them as though they're adults. They don't baby talk them as much. So when you talk, it's like you're talking to someone that's little or young, and they're talking like there's a full-grown person inside of there, which is nice. Now, we need to start discussing with our children important topics. Why? Because believe it or not, just because we look at our kids as though they're kids, they have ideas. They formed opinions on a lot of things, especially things they see going on around them, things they hear people talking about, things that they see on television, on the news, in whatever movies they're watching, and this is reality. Our job as parents, and our job as elders in the communities, and our job as adults in the communities is to try to help them shape their opinions. Now, we don't want to go as far as what some of the people may tell us. We give them their opinions. You can't give someone their opinion. They can follow you in yours. But are these really the type of adults that we want to raise, someone that's going to follow everybody else's opinion? What we want to do is we want to train them on how to really think deeply and really look at situations, analyze things before making an opinion just because they saw it on TV and saw this and this one said that and this one said the other. So we want to discuss with the youth things that we see going on in the news. For example, I may sit with my children sometimes and ask them, okay, well, what do you think about this right here? What they're talking about right here. What do you feel about that? And this one will say, okay, well, I think it's like this. Another one might say, I think it's like this. Our job is not to tell them, no, listen, you're wrong. You can't see it like that. No, you're wrong. You can't. You have to see it the way I see it. Our job is to throw other things in there and see how they react with those other things. Okay, well, have you looked at it from this angle right here? How many times have we had discussions as adults and we have our minds made up going into the discussion? And someone comes to us and says, yeah, but did you know this? And it completely changes the way we look at the whole of not only that issue, but a lot of other issues. We need to teach our children how to deal with their opinions and this new information that comes in. We need to watch them in their thought process. Because we'll see that some of them may just accept everything that they hear as fact. So when you start talking about, okay, well, did you ever think about this right here? How does that affect what you're saying now? Not only are you helping them to be able to express their opinions, you're helping them to be able to develop the ability to be able to think on their feet and not have to sit and take an hour to digest new information. They're able to express what they're feeling and not only express it, but how would I say, to defend their position. Do you understand? These are the types of adults we need to raise. Those ones that can think in the future and stand up for what's correct. Process information. Know that everything that they see is not correct. Just because some other people hold the opinion as the popular opinion, that doesn't mean that it's the opinion that you have to go with. Do you understand? This is where we're failing with a lot of our children. We're not talking to them about things. They're developing ideas that may be either right or wrong because this is what so-and-so is telling them. This is what they're seeing on television, or this is what, regardless of what the issue is. And we have no input. We have no way of getting in there and seeing what's in their minds and trying to shape, not necessarily what's in their minds, but how they see what's in their minds. Why? Because we're not engaging them in real conversation. We don't just sit back and allow them to think whatever they want to think. I mean, generally they're going to do that. But we try to show them, how do you think about this situation? What's important to be looked at? And listen, okay, I understand where you're coming from, but you're missing one little piece of information. Let's put this into the pot and see what comes out now. How does this affect what you're saying? How does this affect what you think about this? Okay, historically, this is what's happened every time this has happened. So now what do you think about this as a solution? These are the types of conversations that we need to begin having with our youth. Not just, how was your day? And then we turn to our spouse or turn to our friend and really hold a conversation. Because we need to be able to develop a generation of individuals that are able to hold a discussion, an intellectual discussion, an intelligent conversation that's based on more than just, well, I saw and I heard. That should not be the topic of a discussion when we're talking about what do you think. Everything that you think and everything that you hear is not what you should think. What do you think about what you're hearing? Do you think it's correct? Do you think it's incorrect? Why? This is going to aid our youth and our children more than you can possibly imagine. Now, where do we come into adding on to the problem? Is when we come in and we say, okay, I hear what you're saying, but, the reality of the situation is this. No, that's my reality. That's my thought. That's how I see the situation. I can't necessarily say my opinion is right and yours is wrong. This is how I see it, and this is why. Because of this, and that. After talking with them, you may realize that you need to change your understanding. So it's not just something that's going to help them, it's going to help us. But until we understand the importance of engaging the youth in real conversation, things we see going on politically in our societies, economically in our societies, the social problems we see in our societies, issues dealing with what we see going on worldwide with this coronavirus and, poverty and the hunger and people starving to death and issues with these wars and all the rest of it. Where are you at with this? These are the discussions that we need to be engaging the youth in, because these are what they're going to continue going through life dealing with. So they need to be able to express themselves. Not only that, they need to be able to feel comfortable with who they are in their thought process. So they will express themselves. So that they won't get railroaded. The same way that many of us were railroaded. And we end up, when you look around, a lot of us really don't have an opinion. Either we've believed what we've been told, we believe what's on the news, we believe what we see on the internet and social media and this, that, because this one's talking and he sounds good, but we don't really have our own opinion on what's going on. Because people may not have had these types of discussions with us when we were younger. We can't allow our youth to go through these same problems that we went through. We need to begin discussing with them these vital issues so that they can start developing their opinions, so that they can take the reins in the future when we are forced to leave them off. So again, this was part of the basic series we're doing about what we can do to help to better our youth and our children and raising our children correctly. And inshallah ta'ala, we'll see you in the future videos when we're dealing with other situations on this particular topic. Subhanak Allahumma wa bihamdik wa ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. And do us a favor. If you have any comments or questions about, what has been said, leave them. And have some patience, and we'll try to deal with those, or others may comment and answer some of your concerns. But, these are discussions that need to not only be had with the youth, obviously, they need to be had amongst us as adults. And we need to have these conversations. Spread this information if you find it to be beneficial. And inshallah, we'll see you in the next video. Jazakumullahu khair wa barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.